For this project, we're going to take our hand and trace it onto the paper. And then after we trace our hand onto the paper, it will create a contour line of our hand. Okay, so we're going to be using contour lines, parallel lines, weighted lines, and implied lines. Now notice as I'm tracing my hand, I'm keeping my pencil straight up and down. Okay, if you turn your pencil like this, you'll go underneath your finger and create really skinny fingers. You want to make sure your pencil stays straight up and down as you trace. And after you get all the way around, you want to make sure you do this with a pencil because we're going to go back and erase this line later. Okay, after you have your hand drawn, you'll take a ruler to make sure your lines are going straight across your paper. And you can start at the top or the bottom. I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to draw a straight line going across my paper. And I'm going to draw a parallel line to that line that is also going across my paper. Each line will go all the way across the paper unless it's the line of your finger or the hand. Okay, so once I get to the hand, I'm going to stop the line where it touches the hand. And then I'll start again on the other side of the finger. And then I will slide my ruler down and do the same thing, where you draw a curved line that connects the two lines. You want to make sure that your hand comes all the way to the edge of the paper, so tracing part of your wrist in order to get it all the way to the edge of the paper is going to be helpful to make this illusion really pop out. At this point, you can go back and connect each one of these lines. The more your line curves on the inside, the more your image is going to look like it pops out. Alright, now you can see that I'm getting ready to get to this line here, which is going to get cut off there. Okay, so since I cannot make it all the way across without hitting here, I'm going to curve this one up and then back down. And then I will curve it up again. Okay, so now I have this one finger that curves, and now I can see where the rest of these lines are going to connect. I can go ahead and do those. Alright, on my next line, I'm going to bring this one across, and it's going to come down and back up. And the reason I have to bring it down is because I need to have space for this line here. And this line has to curve up and then come down, and I won't have space to do it unless I curve this line back down. So this line needs to come down and then back up, so then I have space for this line. Now that I have all of my lines drawn, you're going to go back and erase the contour line drawing of your hand, and so then you will be left with just parallel lines. And now you're going to create weighted lines. You can do this with color, or you can do it with just regular pencil. Okay, so if you were to do it with just the pencil, then you would come back in and make some of your lines weighted, make them thicker, make them heavier, make them darker. Now I have parallel lines, I have weighted line, okay, and I also have an implied line because there's no longer a line defining the edge of the hand. Okay, that contour line is now gone, and so now it is an implied line because you can still see where it should be even though it's not there. Okay, you can take color and start filling in this space. And when you fill in these spaces, you can emphasize that implied line by making it darker closer to the area where that implied line is at. So you can see as I finished it, I applied weighted lines throughout. I have the top half that I finished without color to show you that you can do this project without color. Okay, so if you do it without color, you can change the weight of the lines to help you to be able to see the fingers, the rest of the hand. You can see where I do have color, I made it darker, closer to that implied line, to help it stand out, to draw emphasis. Okay, so I changed the value of the color in order to increase the visibility of that implied line. There are many ways you can do this project. You can choose to do your hand. You can do any silhouette. And a silhouette is just the outline of an object. So a heart is a good example of a silhouette. You just have it one outline. If there are any details inside of the object, this does not work very well. So make sure that you're doing an image of a silhouette, and you can do any image that you would like to. You can have the lines closer together or further apart. The closer the lines are together, the better the image pops out, the better you're able to see your image.